And here's the thing. Are you on the biggest NHS waiting list for 15 years? Around 4.7 million people are waiting for routine operations and procedures. This is England alone, by the way. These are the figures they've fished out for February. This is the most since 2007. So you've got nearly 388,000 people were waiting more than a year. Let this stuff settle for non-urgent surgery. Urgent if, of course, you are the person needing the procedure, compared with just 1,600 before the pandemic began. During January and February, the pressure on hospitals caused by COVID was particularly acute. NHS England say 2 million operations took place despite the winter peak. However, surgeons have said we're still under huge pressure due to the second wave of COVID, which had led to a year of uncertainty, pain and isolation for patients waiting for planned treatment. The Prime Minister, as you heard there, said the government would make sure that we give the NHS all the funding it needs to beat the backlog. He said the situation has been made worse by COVID. Yes, we know this. We do need people to keep up their appointments, he said. I think people are doing that, Prime Minister, and to get the treatment they need. The NHS recently said they will lob £1 billion, £1 billion fund, which would be used to help trusts restore operations and other services to get as many people treated as possible. Nearly 500,000 people. Let's not let them get away with this. 0344 499 1000. Are you one of those people? Are you on that big fat list? Interestingly, our producer, Holly, discovered today that she's on a list. She's on the list. She's gone over there, down at the dentist. She's got some, sort of toothy issues. And the dentist had a peek, looked at that, said, yep, you definitely need a procedure. 9 months. She said, what? 9 weeks. No, 9 months. You're right. Okay, yeah. When is it really? No, 9 months, Holly, he said. He got very angry at this point. 9 months. She could hardly talk, which is the reason she went there in the first place, frankly. 9 months. That's just one procedure. Let's not let them get away with this. This is not a minor issue, by the way. This is not a momentary distraction or a blip in the road. This is industrial scale negligence, and it comes right from the very top. It didn't happen because somebody took their eye off the ball or was a little bit busy doing something else and forgot to book in my Auntie Maureen's foot operation. This was policy. This was designed to be this way. Politicians made conscious decisions for this to happen. And so we now have nearly 500,000 people waiting for routine operations and procedures. This is a crime scene. This was not inevitable. Protecting the NHS because of COVID should never have meant cancelling other people's procedures. Are you on that list? 0344 499 1000. And we know that this includes, there are procedures they describe as non-urgent, which is always an interesting, it's a bit like when you read a story of something terrible that's happened. They've got non-life-threatening injuries. But you might have lost a leg in that. I mean, you could have really bad injuries. You're just not going to die. And similarly with the non-urgent thing, my other half had a foot procedure. Just nicked it in there just before lockdown happened. Just before. If it had been 2 weeks later, it simply wouldn't have happened. She would still be waiting. Now, that would be called a minor procedure. It's like a 45-minute operation. But to her, it was absolute excruciating. She was in an awful lot of pain and had been in that pain for a good couple of years and then had to endure the pain post-operation. So some of those kind of minor procedures, interestingly, you often speak to somebody who's had a 15-hour cancer operation and they've been cut and sewn together again, which is all medically brilliant. And so, are you in any pain? I said, no, I've never had any pain. What, nothing? No, from diagnosis to never had any pain. And then somebody has something done to their thumb and they can't sleep for about 8 weeks. So it's often the minor stuff, actually, that is incredibly serious if you are the person that has the problem. This is a crime scene. Do not let them get away with this. 0344 499 1000. I want to speak to you if you are waiting for the scan for the procedure, for the extraction, for the realignment of a bone, whatever it happens to be. And of course, it's not just minor procedures. I mean, we mentioned that figure there that there were 388,000 people waiting more than a year for what is called non-urgent surgery. So it was just 1,600 before the pandemic began. 1,600 were waiting more than a year. It's now 388,000. That kind of gives you an idea of the damage this situation has done. Are you on the list? Are you one of those that is unfortunately going to have to just wait for that non-urgent procedure, despite the fact you're squealing like a little piglet in pain for half the night, despite the fact that it's something you thought was going to be done a year ago? Are you on that list? And then, of course, you get into the stuff that clearly is a little more serious. The scans and the like. We know about breast scanning and the thousands and thousands of women that have not been able to have that procedure when they should be having that procedure. Now, I know that there are good stories here, and I've often cited a friend of mine who had a diagnosis and operation, I think from diagnosis to operation, all within 3 weeks. It happened. And it does happen. So nobody's saying that nothing is going on at all. But when you've got a list of 4.7 million people waiting for routine operations, we have a problem. We have a massive problem. 0344 499 1000. So whatever area of life this is for you, and again, it might come back to the kind of scanning thing, but it might come back to just basic appointments. Just the basic appointment to go and see a consultant because the doctor said, look, you're probably going to need a follow-up to this. We'll book in the consultant, and then the consultant wasn't there because all the procedures stopped. Now, I don't get this. If you're a neurologist or you work in the obstetrics, I think that's right, babies and stuff. If you work in those areas, surely you weren't called off your neurological detail to go and man the COVID ward, were you? Did that really happen? The people that would normally be scanning your foot or your thyroid, were those people all taken off and put into A&E? I'm not believing this. I don't believe that a radiographer was suddenly told, forget everything you know about radiography, we're putting you on the respiratory ward because you've got to look after that. I don't believe that was the case. I cannot believe that would have been the case. 0344 499 1000. That's where you'll find us. I want to speak with you, whether it was about a scan, a specific procedure on your leg, your head, your arm, your foot, or your backside. I want to hear the story of where you thought you were about to go up to the hospital and finally get it removed, sewn up, lanced, or fixed, only to discover, sorry, sir, you can't come in. The place is closed. That is a crime scene. Don't let our politicians get away with this. If you're on that list, you join 4.7 million others. 4.7 million others. 0344 499 1000. In fact, I think I used the figure 500,000. 5 million was the figure that I was referring to a little earlier. Just shy of 5 million people are on this list. Now, I don't know where this sits with the wider question of, well, this amount of people needed hospitalisation because of COVID, so therefore all the beds were full. There were times, of course, but we've had that every winter. The beds are full every winter. And how does that set against the amount of people that are now in distress, in pain, slightly traumatised by not having the procedure? I mean, to me, it's the scans. It's the thought that the big C could be lurking. That's always the one, isn't it? We all automatically kind of reach for. If that you're waiting. Have I got something? It needs checking out. The doctor said get it checked out, and then they close the department.